So in our last session, we saw how to connect Windows 7 machine to the domain. In this, we will see how to connect our Windows 10 machine to the domain. So since we had issues with our switch with Windows 7, let's remove the virtual switch on the Windows 10 machine and add it again. So let's turn it off. Go to settings, delete the private switch, click apply, and you can go back to the settings again, add new hardware, network adapter, add, click on private, apply, and click OK. So that will add the virtual switch back to our Windows machine. So now let's connect and start the machine. So before we do this, let's do a couple of things on our domain controller. So Windows 10 added some additional security precautions. So all domain users will not be able to log on or remote desktop to the system by default. So you need to add the domain users to a remote desktop users group. So let me show you how to do that. So let's go to the domain controller. Go to Tools, Active Directory Users and Groups. So we have two users and they are part of domain users group. So if you look at the members, so John, Raj, administrator, and curb ticket, these four users are there. So the administrator and curb ticket are going to be there by default. John and Raj is something we created. So right now they are member of the users group. So let's add one more group, which will be the remote desktop users. So now Raj and John should be part of remote desktop users group. So let's close this and go to our Windows 10 box. So let's connect to the machine. And search for this PC. Right click and go to Properties and click Change Settings. And you can click Change to change or add it to the domain. So it's a member of xclaris.com and let's use John. So now we got the message right away. So let's click OK. So let's give it a shot, logging in with the username John and the password. So let's use the administrative account for the domain xclaris. Okay, I think we have the Windows 7 and the Windows 10 joined to the domain. And if you go to a command prompt, and say who am I, it will say xclaris administrator, right? And also let's check the IP address. So the IP is 1.214. It is coming from our DHCP server on the server. Let's see what IP did the Windows 7 box receive. So this is a John user, and the IP address is 210. So you can also check this in the domain controller. If you go to tools, active users and users and groups, if you go to computers, we see those two computers registered correctly on the domain controller. So in the next video, let's see how to connect the file server to the domain.